one of the best things a preacher can do is to be free from the people you preach to. Spiritually, mentally, financially. Let me put that with a capital letter. Financially. So I went out in search for doing business. Started doing business like crazy. Whether you tithe or you don't tithe, the gospel will be preached. But we can't reduce a service to teaching you tithing. To reduce a service to now telling you tithing is of God. I saw a preacher coming and saying tithing is Old Testament. Oh, but blessing that God gave Abraham is new. You like the blessing because it has everything to do with receiving, but you don't like the tithing because it has everything to do with giving. I found a scripture where Jesus taught tithing. Can I show you? Jesus. Oh, okay. Can I show you? Yes, oh, amtaki hiyo. Wacha niwache. Mutainuliwa. Mutasonga. Mutanoneshwa. Can I show you Jesus preaching about tithing? Yes. Oh, you are sure? Yes. So there are some time Jesus came in Matthew and he wanted to balance the issue of tithing. He says, woe unto you, you people, because you... Can you read there? Let me show you the teaching of Jesus on tithing. Do you want to see? Can we settle this matter once and for all? Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you pay tithe of mint and, keep going, this is the words of Jesus, and come in, and have neglected weightier matters of the law, justice, mercy, and faith. You know, in the heavenly realm, there is what you call weightier things. And this is why not all Christians are the same. There is a person, if they pray for you, it will work. And there is a person, if they pray for you, it will not work. Yet they are all Christians. Because the fervent prayers of a righteous, the standing ovation there is righteous man. What does it do? It availeth much. So you don't just go to any preacher just because you heard prophet is coming to town. Uko. And you sit where the camera will see you and say, Ma'am, New Year. You forward the video to your part. You say, Mimi, because you just went for clout. So the heavens have weightier matters, and one of them is called what? Justice is very weighty. So when a nation ignores justice, what you have rejected is the weight of God. When you fight justice, when you are corrupt, God will descend on. That's a kingdom issue. It's not a political issue. When you hear people crying in a nation, Jehovah will eventually hear and come down to inspect himself. Justice is a kingdom language. Number two, mercy. Show mercy. Yes, they deserve the answer, but you show mercy. I won't do it because you are my brother. Some of you muko kwa koti, and the person you're in court with took some 20,000. You can't allow them to be. Christians taking Christians to court, you can't allow them to be. You don't have mercy. That's why your day will come. The third one is what? Faith. Jesus now says, this you ought to have done. Stop. What is this? Let me show you what is tithing. What is this you ought to have done? What is this? Say it. Without leaving others undone. What you should have done is tithing, but at the same time you don't ignore justice, you don't ignore mercy, and you don't ignore. So there are Christians here that tithe, but they are not just. You go and sleep with a man, he gives you 50,000, and then you bring 5,000 because your pastor is broke. Not all money is God's money. Preacher, hear me. Not all money is God's money. So what have you done? If you allow the girl to tithe that money, what have you told the girl? You are allowed to go and do it again. So you have created, you know how many preachers have created prostitutes? Has it occurred to your mind? But because the Arambe will not let you be, you want a pastor's house at all costs. This you should have done without leaving the others undone. You should tithe, but your tithe is not standing on itself. Tithe that is mature, it stands on tithe, justice, mercy, and But if you tithe and there is no justice, your tithe means nothing. You're not getting it. This you should have done. This is the teaching of tithing. I will never teach it again. Tuacheni utoto kwa kanisa. Some topics is because you don't love God. How do you love God and you don't want to give? I don't understand it. You abuse us as preachers. Do you know what it takes to transform one soul? I'm not as old as her. I've been preaching for at least 16 years. Do you know what it takes? There are so many men that came here to follow me. Others are in business. Some of them came with nothing. Do you know what it takes to have a man transform? And when we just have something as little as a trouser, munaanza, wakora, and the people that talk give nothing. You have nothing. You have not even helped your own mother. Because our generation, if you just have TikTok, you are a leader. Women that became nothing. How do you go naked and post a picture? Are you not afraid 5 years later your son will last with your picture?